like 9 o'clock. I go, listen,
All right.
that's their availability.
Yeah, we suck. Sorry. Okay, let's start this mother.
You
It's already
fuckers,
started.
ain't you?
Sick. Rip. Yo.
Yo.
We made it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the SEC Unleashed podcast. I am Ty Hudson from Tuss Talk with Ty. Tim Neal, Travis Ford.
Neal.
We're in this thing. We're doing it. Even if it's like, yeah.
Even if we missed a week, sorry about that, guys.
We kind of missed a week, but we kind of didn't, because like we just got Tuss Talk with the boys.
That's right.
Well, we did do that, didn't we?
Yep.
We did.
fair.
We're going to
We
do some more
still
stuff like
showed up.
that, too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I wanna do
boys.
some more game companions next week or next year too, because this year
Man.
is just trash for me.
I don't know if we, well, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how your year looks, but like once SEC play starts in January, we're going to have to do some companions.
We've got a game companion in some basketball games for sure.
We're doing the Kentucky game for sure.
Oh, my God.
For sure, dude. Yeah,
Was
you
there
know what
nothing
sucks is they
before
look
that?
pretty good this year. I mean, no, we'll definitely do something before that, but that's one of those games we gotta do.
Yeah,
I think
now
we
you're
did the
making
Kentucky one
Now you're
last
making
year,
me
too.
wonder what. Now you're making me wonder what's before that, though.
I think the key games,
I'm looking.
basketball
I'm
wise,
looking.
yeah, there's a lot.
I'm looking.
Yeah, Kentucky's unbeaten, 4-0. They did beat Duke, who's number 6 at the time, 77-72. They just beat the same team Arkansas played recently, Lipscomb. They won 97-68. Arkansas, what was the score? 15? Is that what Arkansas beat them by?
Something like that, yeah.
And Lipscomb or Kentucky beats them 97-68.
Before we go to basketball craze, I want to get into this. Let's get this football done. We're almost there, guys. We're in week 13. We're fired up about basketball because we're a basketball school. I'm sorry, guys. I'm seeing all these. I'm seeing a lot of reports that like Sam Pittman's staying. All right, fine, whatever. Let's move on. Calipari's our coach. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah. So
But I'm even surprised you're here today. I think I told you the fact that LSU is now out of the college football playoff.
I don't know when the
Your
hell
favorite-
I became a
your favorite
LSU
coach-
fan.
Brad Kelly not going to the national championship, guys.
I don't know what. We had one conversation, bro, and then Tim's like, all of a sudden, I got just purple and gold. I'm bleeding this shit. I don't understand what happened.
You're the
Still
Brian
Bleeds-
Kelly
he bleeds
apologist.
purple.
All I
Tra-
said
what
was
you don't see is Travis got sleeve tattoos, and on one of those sleeves is a great big tiger paw.
Ugh.
That's what it is.
second shit.
Purple and yellow tiger paw.
I got a bear. I got a bear. No tigers here, buddy.
Well, again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the podcast here. A lot to discuss, but yeah. So basketball, we've got basketball Friday night for Arkansas. I'm not going to go down the whole roster here for the SEC, but there was another game really quick. Hold on here. There was another game on Saturday that I was
It's basically
curious about.
preseason right now, anyway.
It is Illinois and Alabama this weekend. Or no, shit, that's tonight.
That's right now. It's 50
Oh,
to 63. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
okay. Alabama and Illinois. Yeah. Who's winning?
Unfortunately, Alabama. Being an
Okay.
SEC channel, I guess, fortunately, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always
63
go for conference.
to
What are you
50.
talking about?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm
Always-
I'm all right.
always cheer
I'm
for
all right with that
conference.
because I was excited about the Hogs playing Illinois as well. So I think
Yeah,
that's-
that'll be a fun one. There's another one on Saturday. I thought maybe not. Maybe
No,
it's- maybe-
Saturday's game is boring.
Yeah, it's
Saturday
Marquette.
is Georgia
yeah,
Marquette.
Georgia.
Yeah. Well, you never know about. I mean, I don't know. Georgia's Georgia, I guess, in basketball.
I'm low key trying
But-
to turn this game on. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
That was the game I was thinking of, and for some reason I thought it was Friday or Saturday when that. So there you go, Alabama and Illinois. So that'll be an interesting game being played at the Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama. Got
I think
A&M.
that is. Good. Sorry.
I was gonna say A&M
saying-
played as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's the Hogs' next interesting game. Is going to be the Illinois game because Illinois is always pretty decent in basketball. I mean, they're 3-0 this year already. Bama's 3-1, but I think who did Bama lose to? I haven't watched one Bama basketball game this year. They have some gigantic dude on their team, number 22.
Well, they lost to Purdue,
Okay,
87-78. Yeah,
There's some big
Yeah.
boys, man.
it was a pretty good game. It was a good game until because I went back and watched part of the second half. And Purdue started to pull away. I think their biggest lead might have been something like. I mean, I think they got up to an 8 or 9 point lead at one point. I want to say, but yeah, as the game went on, Alabama just Now keep in mind, I did not have the volume up. I had it up on the screen to my left as I was also doing some stuff on my computer. So I don't know if they were missing somebody on the floor. But Bama, listen, Purdue's supposed to be pretty good. They're undefeated. Bama's supposed to be better, but. Yeah, it was interesting. It was a good game apparently in the first half too. A buddy of mine was texting me the whole time like, "Oh shit, Bama might beat Purdue," but
Dude,
No,
every
they
damn
didn't.
prediction I've seen this year, everybody thinks Bama's God's gift to basketball. So they
bro,
better
listen,
be
I
good,
had
bro.
Blake Lovell on from Southeastern 16. If you haven't watched that interview on Tuss Talk with Ty, go watch it. He's not wrong, and we said the same thing last year. He and I both said it. Alabama. I think it might have been Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, or something. But both of us said it wouldn't shock us, and if Bama went the distance or went the furthest in the tournament. And guess what? That's exactly what they did. So Bama's good, dude. Nate Oates. I mean, you've got 3 or 5 leading scorers back. Sears is back. They've got size. They're a little bit more flexible at the guards. They can rotate in at the 4 spot really well. I think Bama just they look even better than last year, and that's what's scary. But yeah, they lost to Purdue. However, it was away from home.
Something worth noting about Bama that you're not seeing at Arkansas, and I made this excuse for somebody text this week, and they said they actually sent me some news articles where the news is saying John Calipari is having to beg fans to come to Arkansas games, and they said, why is this? And I said, well, to be perfectly honest, we have had a couple of years of 11-1, 12-1, 13-0 preseason or pre-conference, and then we go into conference and just get slaughtered. To me, that's why fans are like, I'm not too worried about playing UALR or UCA. I'll come when the games mean something, when we're not playing Pacific
Yeah.
and Lipscomb. I say all that to say Bama's going to walk into conference battle tested. So if you haven't looked at their schedule, they lost to Purdue. Their next 5 games are ranked opponents. Illinois is number 25, Houston's number 7, Rutgers 24, North Carolina 10, Creighton number 14. They're not coming into conference play in January and going, yeah, we don't know how good we really are. They're coming in battle tested and ready to kick somebody's ass. So
That's fair. They look like a pretty good team, man. They're up 71-55 right now. And it's it's still 12 minutes left in the game. So I don't know. I'm not looking forward to watching us play them because it's always a shit show with them.
Got him in Bud Walton though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, listen, anytime you're in Bud Walton, you got a shot. Okay, you do have a really good. I think you got a pretty good record against Alabama in Bud Walton. So I don't know. Cal has a winning record versus Nate Oates. I think he's 3-2. I might be wrong about that. Maybe it's 4-3. It's something like that. But
I'm just looking at their entire schedule, and they might have the hardest schedule in basketball.
It's tough.
Alabama.
That's tough,
They have,
dude.
They have Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas.
Damn.
They have Kentucky twice, plus that schedule I just rattled off in the non-conference. That might be the hardest schedule in college basketball.
Yeah, you see how they end the year? Look
Yeah.
at their last 4 games.
I know.
Kentucky, Mississippi State, who everyone thinks is going to be sneaky good this year.
Mississippi State.
Yeah,
Tennessee, Florida, Auburn.
Tennessee, Florida, Auburn. Yeah, and it's at Auburn and at Tennessee, dude. That's a rough
Matt?
schedule.
That might. I mean, I'm not kidding. That might be the hardest one. They will come into it knowing how good or bad they are. So
I don't give a
there's a
damn
lot of
about
teams
Bama.
that fluff up that first 12 or 13 games. They didn't do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, this will be an interesting season. A lot of high expectations for a lot of teams, I think.
It's a weird start because of, obviously you've got a new coach at Arkansas and you got a new coach for the first time in, almost 2 decades at Kentucky. It's still weird to me seeing Alabama being as good as they are because, Tim, you and I have paid attention to Arkansas basketball for decades. When was Alabama ever good at basketball, And since Nate Oates has got there the last 5-6 years, they've been damn good. So it's still weird to see. But yeah, and here's what's crazy too. And I said this preseason. I think I don't remember if I said this to when I had Courtney Mims on. I don't remember when and where I said this. I said Florida might be sneaky good this year. And of course they were ranked. They're still ranked. I think
They're
they started off the
sneaky
year.
for sure. Their coach is real sneaky.
They're
Allegedly.
their non-conference schedule's not super great. They do have Virginia, Arizona State, but then they do have North Carolina. But they start the year off in SEC play at Kentucky, so that'll be the very first matchup with Pope at Kentucky and the Florida Gators. So SEC basketball, the difference is, and I talk about this often, the outlook of SEC used to be that's definitely not a basketball conference. It's not even in the top 2, top 3. And what's happened is it's the pedigree of coaches. The SEC, I don't know if it's the SEC network money, I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden there's a greater emphasis on college basketball in the SEC, and you see where these coaches are, right? I mean, you look at who's coaching Auburn, who's coaching Tennessee. Arkansas had Musselman, who was a higher pedigree. Of course, you've got what's his name from Texas, who was fired, and now Beard at Ole Miss.
Beard.
So like
that
the
was our
pedigree.
guy before we got Calipari, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I did too. I thought there was a shot they would get him, despite him having such a short time at Ole Miss. But the pedigree of coaches are unbelievable in this league, and I think baseball is still this conference's strongest sport. I think maybe even by a mile.
Well, football.
But I think
too,
football's up there, but baseball's it, man. I mean, when you average 9 teams ranked every year, all year, like you see who they send to Omaha, you see who's hosting the regionals and super regionals, the kind of money and the upper echelon of baseball in any sport, it is the SEC hands down. So, but basketball's climbing up.
It's kind of funny, I think, to look at it. Football, it seems like I know when I make our picks, when we sit here and make picks, I know I get caught up in fanboying a little bit on SEC teams and on particular teams, and it's a little bit harder to pick this year than it ever has been. It has to be with Vanderbilt being 6-4. It's just hard to pick games like maybe the parity that's coming to football with the NIL. It's a whole lot harder to stock up an 80-man roster plus versus stocking up basketball teams, and maybe that's something the NIL affects or does. Basketball teams get better in the SEC now because it's a lot easier to put 12 men together than to put 80.
And
That's
too,
probably
in
it,
the
You
too.
start
NIL
to see
era.
that happen.
Fielding a 80 really good football players is a hell of a lot more expensive than getting 9 or 10 good basketball players. What's up?
We should have made this a topic. I'll save it.
Modify this
Bring it
right
up.
now.
No, bring it up. Let's do it.
Did
can
you
fix
see the Stephen Jones interview with the fan down in Dallas?
No.
I'm going to go into depth on this tomorrow.
Are they?
They are not giving in. They're not giving any money. The host
Oh.
asked if why not tip the scales in this Arkansas-Texas thing and give Arkansas a whole bunch of NIL money? Because we all know if they could, they would. They can't. There's NFL rules involved that they cannot donate to NIL, so the Jones family cannot give money, apparently. Now, I find that interesting.
You know what? This is what I'm going to say about that. The same rules apply in elections. You can only give so much to like presidential candidates, but they find ways around that with those super PACs and stuff. There's a way around the NIL with the same kind of thing with some not super PAC but super NIL PAC something. You know what I'm saying? There's a way around that if you really want to do it.
I think, I don't know. To me, it's kind of complicated because I don't know if the NCAA just says no, you can't be involved because here's the thing, they're alumni. Like Jerry and his son and grandson, they're alumni. Like what? Yeah. And we've seen Jerry Jones give money to the university.
We got a Jones Center, for Christ's sake.
No kidding. What is the difference? I mean, I get that it's an individual player benefiting. I get that. But, yeah, why not form like a super PAC? Why would the NFL?
I got an idea of why. If you think about it, if he pumps NIL into a specific guy, he could technically be grooming him to be on his team.
Well, no, but that's what we're talking about, the super PAC, right? Like what they already have. The pot, the JB Hunt,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fair, yeah.
There's a way around it.
Yeah.
So it's either an excuse that they're making that they don't want to give money or that they just maybe the NFL's just really strict about it. I don't know.
I want to get into this revenue sharing shit, Ty. What all you know about this revenue? I know this.
I don't even want to touch it with a 10-foot pole right now.
I don't know shit about it.
Courtney Mims is like my go-to on this stuff, and I'm going to bring her on. I keep saying every time, we're going to talk about the revenue sharing. I'm not sure how it exactly works, but she talks with Mike Irwin, and Mike Irwin has a pretty good idea of how it's going to work. I think Chuck on Chuck and Bo shows talked about it a little bit, how it's going to work. I still don't understand it. I try to make a habit of if I don't fully understand it, I'm just going to back off until I get more information on it. But we heard Pittman when he talked about the whole blue light special and Ole Miss with the Louis Vuitton, he was talking about that's all going to change or whatever.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. But with the revenue sharing stuff, and this is the other thing too, if it works how maybe I think it's going to work, where like there's this even distribution of money that's given from the SEC to these schools, which is already what they do anyways with the SEC network money, with the network deals and whatnot. If their thing is like, well, we're going to spread it out evenly, that's not good for Arkansas football. No, that's not good.
I thought
you want an advantage.
I thought they could use other money from the school toward NIL rather than so the school could help support the NIL instead of it being a separate collective. I thought that's what the revenue.
Yeah, well, I think that's the question. See, I sat here and said I wasn't going to get into it.
Into it. Fuck yeah.
I know, because it is a fascinating topic, but it could be that. It could just be like, okay, well, they're going to be able to now dump money into the NIL, or they go into short-term deals, right? Short-term contracts with the players.
They should do that anyway.
They should. And here's the other thing. You got people who are like, well, okay, do that and then put a cap on NIL. You can't put a cap on NIL. There's no legal way to put a cap on NIL. Think about it like this. The NFL player has a contract, right? Let's say Aaron Donald, who had a great contract through the Rams. I say great. I'm using that term loosely. He was able to retire and whatever, and the Rams now or whatever because of it. But, okay, he also had a deal with, let's say, Gillette. Could the NFL come in and say, well, no, you can only make X amount of money through your NIL or through your deal with Gillette? No, you can't. You can't tell someone what they can and can't pay a player. However, you can cap, and that's what the NFL has, that's what these leagues have, you can cap the amount that they're paid through the school. So there's still going to be corruption. There's still going to be stuff that's going to always be there because it's college athletics. But they need to figure out a good balance. They need to figure out a good balance where, like, if the schools are going to pay these players, then they're giving them what they're worth, right? Like, you hear about that quarterback that's is he committed to Michigan or something? Or maybe it's LSU's trying to sway him their way and they're offering like $10 million or whatever. That's too much. Whatever. It is what it is.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. So
you saw Travis Hunter, right? He said he'd be willing to come back to Colorado for $40 million. He's
So
like,
that's
I'm going
what-
back for another year.
That's
for
where
$20
we're
million.
headed. That's where we're headed. We're headed to this era where we might have players who are going to get paid, because some of these guys that are in the third round, they don't have the same kind of value to the Dallas Cowboys as a fourth-round draft pick, but they're going to have more value to that college team who, let's say it's Andrew Armstrong. What kind of value do you think it would the Razorbacks would offer to get him back for another year of
shit ton.
eligibility, assuming he had it? It would be more than his rookie deal with the NFL if he got one.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed, and that is good for college football, I think. What isn't good is like Arkansas. You want to be able to tip the scales somehow, and you're not. I don't know that you do that when you play when you have an even playing field. I don't know. It's all fascinating. I know this wasn't even a topic tonight. That's my bad, but
Yes, it is. The topic is whatever the hell we say it is. It's fine.
that's fair. That's fair.
We went more into basketball. Now we're into revenue sharing. It's fine.
There you
We do
go.
what we want.
Well,
Unleash.
to be fair, you brought
We
up
got
the
the
revenue
rules.
sharing, so I'm not
I brought up
completely
the
guilty.
You
revenue
did.
sharing.
It's all Travis's
Yeah,
fault.
well, the reason I brought that up is because I think that if the revenue sharing is what I think it is, and it becomes legal, Jerry could just dump money into Arkansas, and the money he dumps into Arkansas could be reallocated for NIL, and then nobody would have any damn thing to say. That's the whole reason I said that. I was just curious, but I also wanted to know what you knew about revenue sharing because I don't know shit.
Well, I don't know shit either. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if they even have a plan other than it's just gonna happen. How they facilitate that is anybody's guess. I guess I don't know. I've been so swamped with just trying to keep up with football, and we've got the portal stuff opening up, and basketball with all the Cal stuff. I mean, it's my favorite time of year. Well, at the same time, it's like, damn, I'm not gonna tonight starts. Let's see, tonight and then Thursday night I'm going to do a live. Friday night we got a post-game basketball. Saturday we've got the football game. So I'm on a 4-day stint here where I'm going to be pushing out content. So
yeah, you're going to be working your ass off, dude.
I mean, that's the life.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is until you start
Makes
to
you
just
feel any better? I've been killing myself with manual labor in Joplin for 2 days.
yeah.
So there-
No, I knew you were busy.
Oh, fuck that place.
Well, maybe we'll
Not the
join you for
city
the
in general,
post game
just
on
that job.
Friday.
You said what?
Yeah, we'll have
I said maybe we'll join you for the post game Friday.
hell yeah. You guys know I'm always down to have you on. Hell yeah.
I'm going to the game again Saturday. I didn't know it until the other day. But my kid got on the video board, and it made his entire life.
I bet.
And he'd been trying for like 3 years when we had season tickets and stuff like that. And then we just go to this random ass game in the SEC club, and apparently the cameras like it over there because that's where all the rich people sit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got given the
Yep.
tickets. I'm poor still, so it's all good. But yeah, we were sitting over there, and then sure as shit, man, that guy got on the screen, man. He was so pumped. I've actually had like 3 or 4 people come up to us, and they're like, "Oh, hey man, we see you on the screen." I was like, "Cool." I was trashed. But,
Shocker.
Shocker. Oh yeah, I'm fucking.
He says that like it's new. I love it when he says it like it's new.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, that's cool that he got on the screen, man. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, and then so that I guess pulled Jessica's heartstrings, and she's like, "I'm buying tickets for next week too."
Oh.
So I was like, "All right, I guess we're going to the Louisiana Tech game." I'm curious how many people show
Nice.
up. I think it's gonna be fun still because I get free beer.
You might have more people there because
They know we're gonna
it's
win.
Louisiana Tech, and you feel like I want to watch a
win.
win. It could be
Actually,
that. I mean,
I have a funny story about that. It's you look at when I had season tickets, I was looking at the tickets, and my mom wanted to go to a Razorback game, and I took her to the damn Missouri State game when Bobby Petrino was their coach. And I told her, I was like, we're walking in. I was like, well, we're going to whoop their ass, so it's fine. And they end up giving us hell. It's risky. I hope we don't have a repeat of that this week. It doesn't need to be a UAB or a Liberty game, for Christ's sake.
anything's possible. They Arkansas is going to want to, they're going to want to run the ball. I'm sure Louisiana Tech has a really good run defense, and one of their better players on the defense is Zach Zymos. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Former
That's a
Razorback.
Morris recruit, right?
God, was he?
I think it was.
I think he was.
Got to be if he's still playing football. He's got to be 32 years old by now.
I'm not. I'd have to look that up. I cannot remember what class he was a part of. But he played special teams here for like 2 years, and I liked him out of high school. Big-bodied kid. He was like 6'3", 6'4" out of high school. Really? Yeah, he was his 2019 class. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. I know it's been a minute. He's been playing for a while.
And he had good offers out of high school too. Texas Tech, Cal, Boise State, Mizzou. I mean, he had some pretty good offers, man. Yeah, he was 6'3.5", 205 pounds out of high school. So he's
damn Razorbacks.
Yeah, for a little while. He was preseason All-State Warfel Trophy watch list this year. Phil Steele, preseason second-team All-Conference USA. I mean, the list goes down for him. He obviously made a good choice going to Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, it's always the players that we lose that come back and they're just the shit, and it sucks, and it's like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, they're bench warmers here, and then all of a sudden they come back and they're world beaters, and it's just like, here we go.
Yeah. Did we cover the Are You Entertained yet? Did we do that?
Nope. We will.
Well, kind
Are
of.
we?
Kind
I
of.
think we should.
I
get
thought.
back into, well, I mean, we kind of did, yeah.
Kind of. I mean, the idea there is again the national media reaching out or printing. Calipari has to beg fans in. Beg fans.
We
to come
haven't
to
touched on
games.
this, but let's do that. Let's just get it. Let's get it. Since we're on basketball, kinda. We're all over the place, guys. It's fine. It's unleashed. There's no script. We do what the hell we want.
Hey.
All right then. On that note, basically, I've gotten the notice. I don't know about you guys about if you're not going to use your season tickets, turn them in so they can be distributed out to other people so we can fill up the arena. It's a little disappointing to see it half empty for any games. And some of the comments have been that even Musselman was able to fill up the arena for a cupcake game. But I just feel like you guys can say what you think, but I feel like nobody's excited for Pacific or Lipscomb.
I was gonna say,
I'm not going to be
shit
excited. I understand why you schedule UCA because Corliss Williamson's the head coach, and that that you're doing him a favor. You're paying him to come in here and whip his team, and he is he's the man who brought us our first national championship. So, you're doing him a favor. He's doing you a favor. I get that, but that doesn't necessarily translate into fan excitement. UALR doesn't translate into fan excitement.
I think UALR and UCA are more exciting games than Pacific or Lipscomb turned out to be a little bit better than I thought they would be, but just some of those directional.
Well, the
schools,
reason they're doing that is the real reason they're doing that is to keep money in the state, right, Ty?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically we're going to pay somebody to come in here so we can beat them. We might as well pay an in-state school and keep the money in state.
Yeah.
Which was funny because Frank Broyles never wanted that to happen.
No,
he did not. He did not want that to happen.
And he had good reason. I mean, his reasoning was there's no value in it for the University of Arkansas because when it comes to recruiting, you're not recruiting against UALR. You're not recruiting against Central Arkansas. So you're not recruiting against Arkansas State. So if you lose, that's a loss for you. But if you win, you gain nothing.
So really quick, who'd you say was the head coach at UCA?
I believe it's Corliss Williamson.
No, he's an assistant with Minnesota.
Oh, okay. I was like,
wait a minute.
He was the head coach.
Was he really?
Yes, he used to be the head coach for UCA.
Yeah, I think it's been a while though, right? Hadn't it been?
I don't think it's been that long.
I did not know that.
Yeah, dude, it's been like, I'm pretty sure it's been like a decade.
Damn.
No, surely not.
I think so, because he's been in the NBA.
that.
He's been an assistant in the NBA.
Tim got.
I was just saying, I was
yellow
freaking
book,
out. I was
bro.
like, I was like, wait a minute, did he go back and I missed that? But no, he's not I think it's been a while since he's been there. I don't know.
Oh, I guess that has been.
He ain't been a
I think
coach
longer than I
Mike
realized.
Norvell was there.
Schulman's the coach there now. John Schulman. I think it's like his.
He left in 2013. Golly.
Crazy.
Dude, I was like, wait a minute, did he go back? Hold on.
I don't remember him leaving to go to Minnesota, but okay.
I vaguely remember him leaving because he's an NBA guy. Like, he's got a really good He's had a really good run. I say really good run. He's been an assistant in multiple jobs.
I don't know if that translates into being good. If they just let you go from one job to the next.
Well,
In
I mean,
my
if
world,
you're in the
that's not
NBA, no, but if you've been in NBA multiple jobs, yeah, you
Sure.
got to be somewhat
something.
decent.
I thought
guess.
Musselman was impressive whenever I heard about he was in the NBA. I was like, oh, well, that's cool.
It's nice, especially because he was a head coach in the NBA, and that's part of the reason why you were able to go
that
out and
helps with
attract.
recruiting, right?
Yeah, you're definitely able to push that in the living rooms with these families, like, hey, I can develop your son. I know what it takes to get to the league. That's what you got in Cal, right? Cal also has an NBA history, but he's got a great history of turning guys into lottery picks. So
Yeah.
For sure.
but
How many families did he say he wanted to help? He said like 15 or something. That's like 3
Yeah.
years.
yeah, and
15
I've
to
never
20. That's 3 to 4
I've-
years.
I've never thought he was going to be like a long term. Like I think my dad told me he thought he was going to retire at Arkansas. It's like, nah. I mean, he might retire, but it's not like what you think, where he's here for like 10 years and he's coaching well into his 70s. It could be the case. I know he loves the game of basketball, but I don't know.
I'd be surprised if we keep him for 5 years.
To me,
Yeah.
5 years would be a win, assuming you've had a good product on the floor.
And then who you gonna get? Who you gonna get?
Yeah.
We're gonna get Chris Beard after that. It's fine.
Oh man, that'd be a great get.
I don't know.
right.
Honestly, dude, like, okay, you want people to don't have a game on a Monday. Mondays are that I didn't even know the game was on that day.
Well, you're either going to play on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I mean, you don't really have. You're going to
feel
play
like
on
I feel like it was so consistent last year with like on Tuesday, Wednesdays, or Saturdays.
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
Whiskers on mine. No, that's right. It's they do that every year under Muss. It was like Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
and it's kind of a little bit more out of all over the place this year. And the teams, Muss had pretty good people in there, but I don't know. Maybe everybody's just comfortable. They're like, Cal's got it. We're good. And they'll start showing up at the SEC games. That's kind of my thoughts,
Well, I think you'll probably have a good set of fans for Illinois, even though they lose to Alabama tonight. They're still ranked number 25.
It's only an 11-point game.
They come in next week, so even if they drop out, they don't drop far. So
Well,
I think you'll have people
Kansas
show up
City.
for games like Illinois, not for.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair. It's not here, but But the point is, games that should be good games, like last year with Duke showing up.
The game was
place fills up-
crazy.
The place fills up to a record capacity for Duke. If you have quality opponents,
Yeah.
if we had Alabama's schedule, we'd fill up the whole non-conference.
I think it's listen. It's not unheard of.
I like our schedule. I like just the thought of that Cal had no players at all, and then we got kind of an ease you on in their schedule. You know what I mean? I think it's going to give them time to mesh and things like that. 'Cause even Muss's teams took a while to mesh. I mean, any basketball team, especially now, because every year every team is completely new for the most part, or at least 60% of them is.
Yeah.
All right,
9-point game.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching too. Yeah. They got 4 minutes.
that's a
left.
whole lot. That's a whole lot of basketball.
What happened?
I said that's a whole lot of basketball.
4 minutes.
Jump into.
Oh, I got you.
I didn't give my take. Hold on. I want to say something about the
Give your
attendance.
take. I said
Give
your take a while
fucking
ago.
take.
I let you guys talk. What do you want me to do? Talk over you?
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, listen to me. No, I mean, I did kind of speak on it a little bit, but I do think that like it's a little bit of an overreaction. If the national media is talking about it, I think he's definitely got haters in the national media. I think he's kind of an infamous head coach while also being a very famous head coach. He's some people in the media probably think he's a bit of a bullshitter, but he wins games. He's got the proof is in the pudding with Cal. Like, the guy can win games. He can win during the regular season. Up until the last few years, he could win in the postseason too at Kentucky and everywhere he's gone. But I think it's a lot of much ado about nothing. I mean, I get it. I've said it again on my show. Like, yeah, if you have the ability to go, if you're not doing anything that night and you have a ticket, Just go to the game or hand it off to somebody who will go to the game. But there is, and we talked about this the last time we were live, guys. I sat here and said it, like, there needs to be more people at these games. However, I also understand it's a Tuesday night, it's a Wednesday night, it's a Monday night, and you're playing Troy, or Lipscomb. Like, you're not really playing anyone. By the way, Lipscomb was at the time, Lipscomb was on Lenardi's postseason, his March Madness, his tournament, his bracket. He had Lipscomb. I don't remember. It was a pretty low seed, but so they could be a tournament team. And Arkansas was able to win that game by 16 or whatever. But, yeah. Anyways, I think it's a much ado about nothing. Well, like you guys said, when you get better, when you get the man, I wish Michigan was here. Even though I don't think they're that good this year. It'd be cool to have them here. But it's also very cool you're playing at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
The only problem is, though, I will say this. I don't like how there's not a single good non-conference game in Bud Walton. And I think every year you ought to have one really good one. And TCU is played on a neutral floor, right? KU was an exhibition game.
Yep.
Right.
Illinois is going to be on a neutral court. Miami's going to be down in Coral Gables. Michigan's at
Anti-froze. What happened?
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. You froze.
that's
That was
weird.
weird.
Anyways, I think it'd be cool if they had one really good, and that's what the whole, the Big 12 SEC thing was, the SEC, what is it, SEC ACC match. But it is cool that they're going to play at these the SEC ACC Challenge is down. That's Miami. But it is really cool that they are playing in Madison Square Garden, and that's going to be that's going to be pretty fun to watch, and that's going to be a lot.
Ty, are you on AOL? Are you on AOL, Ty? You use the disc.
We're back.
What?
That's weird.
Bro, it's not me. My internet's fine.
No, it's
I'm
probably
telling
not.
you, it's this shitty ass program.
How dare you?
How
How fucking dare you, bro?
It's Travis. All
That's
right,
mine. It's
on-
probably my
on to
shit
other-
internet.
On to other things.
I run the
Georgia
show in
writes to
really
ship
high
against
quality, by
Tennessee.
the way. I'll just have you know. All right, what Timmy?
Georgia writes a ship against Tennessee. Georgia fell all the way down to number 12, I think, in the playoff rankings.
I want to know how hurt Nico was in that game, because there was reports all week that he wasn't going to play in that game, and then all of a sudden he's playing. So they were giving help. Georgia definitely took care of business, but I do wonder if Nico was a little bit hurt last week.
I mean, it very well could be. I think the thing that made a huge difference was Carson Beckton. How long?
Say again.
I
Say it
said
again?
I think one of the things that made a big difference was Carson Beck didn't throw any picks for the first time in how long?
Yeah. Carson Beck came out looking like Tom Brady.
He
What
came
the
out.
hell?
He came out and played his game. When he
And
puts
honestly-
it together, they're going to be hard to stop by anybody.
Yeah, the final score honestly looks like it wasn't even a game. 31-17. It's pretty good. Pretty good ass whooping. Did you guys stay connected with me that time? What is going on? Are we
I'm
getting
here.
hacked?
I'm
Are
here.
you
but
on
all
Wi-Fi? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
All
Is
of a
this-
sudden,
Yeah, never had this problem before. Dude, we're running 563 megabits a second.
Well, then it's the program then.
Well, yeah, probably, but I can't exactly close it. It's fine.
all of a sudden, it doesn't want us to talk. It's like, hey, wrap it up. This is like the Academy Awards. Wrap it up. It's gonna freeze you at the end of the.
It's
show.
Brian Kelly. He's in.
Yes, we're freezing
Yeah.
up like LSU.
He's like, attack him. You know what? Let's just get to the predictions. Just because I don't know exactly. Hold on, I gotta close some stuff. Are you guys still with me there?
yes.
Yep.
All right. So more on like sorry, I'm doing two things at once. More importantly, last week, more important than anything, Florida beat LSU. What? the fuck happened?
Well, they have Brian Kelly as a coach. I mean, need I say more?
Oh.
I really don't know what's going on with them. I have no idea. LSU.
Does anyone like Florida is very they're very Arkansas, but on the better side of it. When we show up and we do all the shit we're not supposed to do, everybody thought Florida was just going to be a punching bag, and now they're turning out to be pretty damn good.
Well, Arkansas and Florida are
pretty.
like the same. They're like the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Florida's 3-4 in conference. Arkansas's 3-4 in conference. They're both 5-5. Florida's probably playing better ball now, whereas Arkansas's I don't know.
Worse.
It's like blindfold. It's like playing darts with a blindfold on. Like you don't know. They got Louisiana Tech this weekend, but then they close it out against Missouri on the road, a place they've never won before. So, but Florida, I don't know. It has to be frustrating because it sounds like they're going to keep their guy. He's going to be there no matter how this season unfolds, apparently, which is wild because they've got Ole Miss and Florida State left, so they're probably going to split this thing.
Keeping their
They're
guy
gonna
this
end
year
up-
sounds wild. It sounds very familiar.
Because they're Arkansas, Florida and Arkansas are like the same damn team.
That's reasonable.
It's crazy how similar they are.
Well,
just in those
they
ways.
have the same question. Who are they going to get?
Yeah, they're sitting
Arkansas
at
has
5
the question.
and
Who would
5 too.
Who would you get? Who would you get for Florida?
Well, to be
It's the
fair,
same
Florida.
question.
Whoever the hell you want.
Yeah,
They
Florida's.
have a better history, I guess. There's more prestige to a Florida job.
Well, that in
But
Yeah.
recruiting, like they're in the mecca of recruiting right there. Not just Florida, by the way, like South Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, like
But
that
who's
that
out there
whole
that's
area.
just-
They're in a hotbed, dude.
Yeah.
I will say,
However, they got to
go ahead.
compete a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like they have a bigger legacy than like an Arkansas or something. Like, yes, we won a natty, but Urban Meyer won a shitload of them. They had Tim Tebow. They had,
Steve Spurrier.
technically, they had Cam Newton before he was Cam Newton. You know what I mean? A lot
Well,
of guys,
yeah,
Steve
but-
Spurrier, exactly. A lot of guys have ran through there, and it's a more famous logo that you know what I mean. If you're looking at
Okay, but
logos.
it's not like they've always been great though. Like if you look at their history, look up their history and look what they were up until the 90s. Like it's
The
not like
90s
a
is where
school.
they-
Yeah.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, they had some really good seasons before the 90s, but like they didn't win their first national title until 1995.
I'll tell you the title they
96,
won today.
95,
the
96.
title they won today is Game of the Week with Ole Miss. I think I'm actually excited about this game.
Ole Miss
Kinda
in Florida.
surprised. Ole Miss in Florida. They got Ole Miss is a 10.5-point favorite. The over under on this entire game is 52.6. I feel like Ole Miss could put that up by themselves, you know. But it's so much like the Razorbacks. Like, who's gonna show up? Which Florida team's gonna show up? They seem to be trending upward, but who the hell knows, right?
Yeah, the problem for them is Ole Miss knows who's going to show up. Ole Miss is going to show up. Dart's going to show up.
Ole Miss also lost to Kentucky.
They did, but that's more of a one-off. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. That's still a one-off. Ole Miss is pretty darn consistent. Jackson Dart's very consistent. I just don't think Florida really stands a chance, swamp or not. Ole Miss is going to go in there and do what they have to do.
They did beat. I mean, they beat LSU at home, and I know, like, I would take right now. I would take Ole Miss over LSU, and they almost beat them down in Death Valley. And they did beat Kentucky at home. They are difficult to deal with at home, but yeah, I mean, this does feel like one of those games because Florida does have talent up and down their roster, right? I mean, they have more base talent. They have Lagway he's one of the top 20 recruits of all time, if you can believe that at Florida. Like that dude is the
I had
real
been hearing
deal.
about him a while before he came around Florida.
Well, I know they had to. I'm sure they had to pay out the ass to get him, but they are talent-wise, they're really good. They're just young in some places. Anything could happen in this game, but I would take Ole Miss to probably. I don't know what I don't really care about the spread in this. I would take Ole Miss, but it could be a tight game. It could be a blowout win by Ole Miss.
I feel like this is going to be a really big game for Florida.
It's huge for them.
And I just mean
It's
I
huge
think
for
the
them.
people in the swamp are going to show up and show their ass.
Well,
You know what I mean?
you've had, other than your Texas, God, I mean, Texas beat the hell out of them 49-17. But they played pretty good against Georgia. A little bit there. Now, Georgia ended up, winning by whatever it was, 13, 14 points. But then you beat, a couple of weeks later, you beat Texas or LSU 27-16. Like, you feel like maybe, okay, if we're going to keep this guy, we're kind of turning the corner. Imagine what this could do for him. Imagine what this could do for this younger team, and the fans know that. Like, Florida Gator fans are probably the most diehard fans in the state of Florida. Well, okay, toss up between them and Florida State, but their fans are rabid about the
Florida
Gators.
State was diehard enough, that guy would have ate the dog shit.
Well,
they wouldn't have these
yeah,
problems.
yeah, but buyouts are a thing, though, man. I mean, the buyouts are.
Yeah.
The buyout for him is a lot for Norvell. They're gonna have him for at least another year. But yeah, this could be a turnaround.
They extended him, did they not?
I'm sure they did. I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure they did. But this could be one of those games where Florida's like, they realize the importance of this game. Not only that, bowl eligibility, right? I mean, they want to get to a bowl game for sure. And then you feel pretty damn good because you could win the last two then, right? If you could beat Ole Miss, then you could beat Florida State, which they're going to do anyways, I think. But
Yeah,
I
I don't think bowl eligibility for them is a question.
I think Florida
think they
State's a
beat
2-10.
Florida
well,
team
but
this year.
I mean, if
Maybe
you're a
that
coach,
takes
though,
the pressure off of this Ole Miss game because you don't think you have to beat Ole Miss to get to a bowl, so maybe
could
there's
be
less
that.
pressure.
I think this game's going to be
But I still
amped up
think
to
Ole
the
Miss
ceiling.
wins.
well, but what I'm saying though is that's going to be the thing that, like, when I'm saying that stuff, I'm saying like from a coach's point of view, what he's telling his players, right?
Sure.
Florida State is still dogpiled full of talent. Okay, they're not good, they're horrible. We all know that, but from a coach's point of view, you don't just look at their record. You're going to look at those individuals, the players, the staff, the coaching staff. Anything can happen on any given Saturday. So when you're sitting at 5 wins and you're at home, yeah, I'm going to drill this into my players' heads. Like, look, we win this, we're bowl eligible, and you just upset a playoff contending Ole Miss football team who might be the best team in the SEC right now based on how well they're playing. So I think there's a lot of motivation in this game for Florida. But I would still take Ole Miss, but I am curious to see how that unfolds. That'll definitely be a game I'm going to try and catch.
I think that this game is going to be Florida's biggest game of the year. I think the Florida fans are going to bring the heat, and the swamp is going to be the damn swamp again.
Yeah. When is it
Man,
not
with
the swamp? God.
with Ole Miss, when we played them,
Well,
when we
still
beat them
pretty
last
rowdy.
year.
Yeah, but
Was
it's still
it?
pretty rowdy. Yeah, I had a friend. Well, I say a friend, a guy that I know watches the show. He went and he said it was crazy. It was a wild environment. Because I questioned it on the show. I was like, were the Florida fans really that into it? And I guess he caught it and he messaged me that following Sunday morning. He was like, bro, it was pretty crazy. And I was a little surprised by that, considering how bad they were. Because I told him and I said it on the show, like, they didn't seem that into it. And he was like, no,
Yeah.
man, they were into it.
Damn. Yeah. So with all that said, I'm going Gators, boys. I'm doing it. I think Ole Miss and LSU are very similar teams, except Ole Miss defense doesn't suck. If they can shut down the defense they shut down the offense they shut down last week, I think they're going to give Dart hell. That's just my thoughts. I'm not saying that their defense is as good by any means as Ole Miss, but if they can shut down LSU, I think they can figure out a way to give Dart the business.
Did you see how many sacks Florida had against Nussmeier?
Huh? How many?
7.
7 sacks. How many did Ole Miss have against us? 10? 8? Something like
But
that? Something crazy.
You understand, Nussmeier is like for most of the season was like the least touched quarterback in the SEC.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm picking
And
Florida.
Florida got to that dude 7, and I think he was, I don't know, I didn't look at the PFF spreadsheet on it, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, ESPN's got to be wrong, but that's what ESPN's reporting. And I heard someone else say it was more like 4, but I don't know. Like I only kind of go off what ESPN says. PFF is always a little off when it comes to sacks because I think they have a different what they consider to be a sack. I guess I don't know, but
It's
and 11 TFLs, 11 tackles for loss. That is not something LSU does. So, or what they allow, I should say. And Florida was living in their backfield. Just going after him, dude. I mean,
I just wonder if they figured something out. You know what I mean? They're like, oh,
well, I know Shamar James had a hell of a game for Florida. Shamar James is a really good player, linebacker for them. I thought he was like 6'4". He's like not a Sam Aljabutu, but he's 6'1", like 230 pounds. The dude is all over the damn field, and he had like 2 sacks. I think he had a couple pass breakups. And I think he might. No, I don't want to say a forced fumble. He was all over the field though. 11 tackles, really good for them. So,
what's even crazier is Florida's starting cornerback is out for the damn year, and they just do that to LSU, and it's like, what the? Okay,
it's
crazy.
It's impressive. DJ Lagway had didn't throw the ball a lot in that game against LSU, but did still have 226 yards. Just off 13 completions and a touchdown. So maybe they're getting it figured out at Florida. And that's why I say, like, anything can happen. I'm still taking Ole Miss, but
I'm rolling the dice on them. All right, 11:45 SEC Network, Georgia and UMass. It's going to be a tough one for Georgia, boys. 2-8 UMass is bringing the heat. Yeah, we'll make this one quick. Georgia. 12 p.m. SEC Network. Tennessee U. There's some shitty games this week, isn't there?
There's not very many good SEC games. No.
Yeah.
There's some decent some out of SEC games, but not very many.
So-
BYU and Arizona State will be interesting.
So real quick on LSU, on Florida sacking so many times, Dellinger was injured. Before he got injured, LSU had only allowed 2 sacks all season.
Yeah, all season.
They've allowed 11 sacks since he got injured. So he's the man.
Well, but like,
Clearly,
does
there's a
one
chance.
guy stop 7 sacks? Like,
well,
and it looks like it's all over the field too. It's not just from one position.
well,
So
he obviously made a difference. Also, Miles Frazier got injured, and so I mean, there's injuries across their line. A couple guys on their line. They'll be starting some freshmen against Vanderbilt. So
it'd be a nice week to play Florida or
Well,
to play LSU.
So I say that to say, that may have made Florida's defense look at least a little bit better. I feel comfortable in saying, in the years that we had, for instance, Sean Andrews at Arkansas, if he got injured and went down, the backup wasn't playing as well.
oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's fair. Yeah.
I mean,
That's their
so
guy.
maybe Florida looked a little bit better than they should have. To your point, though, they, if it was coming from all over the field, but that cohesiveness on the line being lost, you get one guy injured and then 2. I think that could have had something to do with it.
I
Yeah,
think we can save
sure.
us a bunch
But
of time on this Tennessee game too. Actually,
they have Florida has on the year almost 30 sacks. So they are pretty good at getting after the quarterback.
That's fair.
yeah.
But I mean,
When the
I like
perfect
my
storm
pick.
hits,
if they're
you're
missing
good sacking defense against a broken offensive line. I mean,
Yeah,
the
the more I
perfect
talk to
storm
you
hits.
Ole
guys,
Miss?
the more I like my pick.
Ole Miss has not been as good at keeping Dart with a clean pocket. Like
Okay.
that's the other thing. I noticed that before the Arkansas game when I was looking at their numbers, he was getting pressured a little bit more, like their offensive line. And Courtney Mims was talking about that. She had on my show, where we mentioned it, that that's certainly been an issue where I think I had Courtney on that week. God dang it! Now That might have been another game. But anyways, that was something that I caught on PFF. I was like, damn, Ole Miss looks like their offensive line is starting to slip a little bit. And
Lane whiffs on big shit. He usually whiffs on the Georgia game.
he loses. Yeah, I mean, he's
The Kentucky game, I know he's done it once. He usually does it twice.
yeah.
10-2 is their best season in how long?
Well, I mean, that was their first 10-win season.
Yeah, there you go. So
Their best season since they got busted with Hugh Freeze.
Wait, did Hugh Freeze have a 10-win season?
Probably.
I feel like he did.
You know the one thing I will say, going back to Ole Miss real quick, and I've been meaning to say this for 2 weeks, and it's a bold take from an Arkansas fan. Poop Hall made the right decision. I'm saying it. I'm sorry. He did. He's flourishing over there, man. Their defense is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they did have a 10-win season in 2015.
That was their first one ever. No.
What one? 2015?
No, I thought it was 20. I thought the year we went 9-4, they went 10-2 or something.
I know that when they won 10, I swear it was reported that was their first 10-win season at Ole Miss with Lane.
That's
well, and maybe that was regular season 10 wins because they had 10 total wins in 2015.
Oh, I think it was. I bet
maybe
you
that's
it was
what
the
I
bowl
don't
game.
know. Poop Hall.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
8-4, so.
Poop Hall. Yeah, right. Poop Hall's going to be good no matter where he went. Like, I tried telling Hog fans that. I don't know. I had people in Discord that were like, nah, we'll be able, that's not that big of a miss. Well, are you kidding me? Poop Hall is a legit possible All-American linebacker. What are you talking about? As if we're just spitting out great linebackers left and right. Like, no, Poop Hall was a loss. I know that there was some drama and all that between his dad and whatever, but
Hog Twitter.
God, still to this day. But
his dad likes Twitter, bro.
I don't. I just don't
Heavy
get
on that
involved with
thing.
that stuff.
I
But
don't either, man. He's actually pretty funny though.
He did make a good choice, but I'll say this: like, it's going to look really good if they win out and they get into the playoffs. It's going to look really good. And Hog fans, some of those Hog fans are eating crow when they said that. Now they won't ever own up to it. You know, what's funny is in Discord you can easily look up what people have said, and I could pull that up. And I remember a couple of the people that were saying that.
Time
I remember
for
thinking
receipts,
like,
bitch.
yeah, I remember thinking at the time like, y'all are crazy. Like Poop Hall's a good player, man. So yeah,
I was not happy when he left. I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? I was just like,
well, that ought to tell you a little bit. Like when you lose a star player like that ought to tell you something's not clicking right.
Not only that though, but like he's surrounded by other great players, and I just don't think he would have got that here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, we do have some good players on defense throughout, but like they're a pretty fucking solid unit, dude.
They are.
I mean that bodes very poorly for any team like us, though. If you have to if you have to LeBron James your way into championships, I'm sorry, but surround yourself with a bunch of other really good players in order to get there, then we're never going to be that school. If you're talking about the University of Arkansas, so you need. I mean, I guess that's where fans, I feel like, have a little bit of a fair disappointment when a guy leaves, because they're like, how good could we have been? It's always going to be a what might have been.
That's
how
fair.
good could we have been if we ended up getting Landon Jackson and we ended up having Poop Hall and we ended up picking one with Sorey up. We have Sorey this year, and all of a sudden we could have been, good enough to beat Oklahoma State, good enough to beat Ole Miss.
I also think if you retain Poop Hall, you probably don't get Sorey.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying, if you did, how good could you have been? And I think that's a fan's legitimate gripe about the transfer portal to an extent. Of course, you don't get Sorey without the transfer portal or Jackson, but you don't want to see your best players go because you brought someone else in. You want to build the same kind of team Alabama has.
Yep. No, it's a bitch when you're good players. If you know a player's name and they go in that portal, like, and you know it real good, and you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
go ahead.
That's the thing, though. Like, we've seen guys hit the portal, and you'll get some people that are upset, like, oh man, that sucks. But you'll get so many people that just live in denial. Like, it's not that big of a loss. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, pull your fan hat off for just a second and look at this like an outsider. Pooh-Paul was a huge loss. It was a huge loss.
Yeah.
They did not replace him. I'm sorry, but they did not replace him. Soria's a good linebacker, and I want him back another year. But they don't have – they've got Brad Spence, who's younger, who I still don't think he's on Pooh-Paul's level. Pooh-Paul's a legit NFL linebacker.
Yeah, he's
and
good.
you don't have one on your roster right now. Yeah. So –
you know what makes me madder than anything when a player transfers is when the other players on the fucking team are like, go get that money, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Why couldn't he get the money with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drives me crazy, bro.
Well, and it sucks too when you see like Pooh-Paul or other players and other, when they're starting to retweet like stuff with the new team, or when you see Pooh-Paul in an interview with Paul Feinbaum and he's there's no mentioning of Arkansas whatsoever other than just like, I was there. You know, and then he's all in on the hotty toddy stuff. He's naming his dogs or whatever after Ole Miss. Like, god dang, dude. Like, that stuff just sucks. Like, what could have been, I feel that way about Rocket. Like, Rocket Sanders.
Same. Rocket's showing out at South Carolina now, man. I saw
now that he's
week.
healthy and he's lost a little bit of weight and he's
He
healthy.
has a line to run behind.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Wonder what how that helps.
I still want to know what they're going to do with the line next year. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, man.
Need to watch
Getting
him
the line
Get rid
for-
of everybody on the current.
Getting a whole
get
line
rid
for
of
the
Start over.
portal is almost impossible. Like it's well, I mean with a shitload of money, I guess, but good old linemen don't usually, hang out in the portal too much.
Did you see who it's being reported that Arkansas's looking into? They've already got they've got one out. If you're you should have access to
Plug
the
it, dude. Plug it.
portal target stuff, but Jason Brooks Jr. out of Oklahoma State who entered the portal.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, he missed all of this season. Now, I didn't go. I saw John Haas was doing a whole rundown on him. He looked him up and was doing a whole rundown. I used to do that, but it takes up so much room. So I do more of the most recent stuff with a player. He had 393 snaps in 2023, and PFF grades are horrible. His numbers are not good.
Really?
In Arkansas, according to the portal.
You go ahead. I figured his experience as that damn line was he'd be worth a shit.
Well, again, he didn't play. He missed last year because of a knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a 3-star prospect out of the 2020 recruiting class. He took 393 snaps at left guard in 23. He did have pretty good numbers. Just 3 sacks allowed, 9 hurries through all of 2023, which is they're not bad. But like, this is a guy that missed the whole year. You're not talking about like some big 4-star out of the portal. And this is who they're showing interest in. Now, to be fair, it's early. December is when the portal's going to get rocking, right? Like the end of November into December is when things are going to get really interesting. But I hope they target some big fish. But what this does tell me, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow night on the show. I'll tell you guys later what this is telling me. I'll tell you.
You know what I want? I want to happen. I want a mass exodus from Oklahoma. Because they're eating shit this year, and I just want to steal all their
they're
all
bad.
Their linemen.
I did not think. I was so wrong about Oklahoma. I thought they'd
tough.
have. I had them at 8.
They'd be ready. They were my backup team. Every time the Razorbacks pissed me off, I'd go in my closet and get my OU shirt on. And my wife just always would try to divorce me. She would always present me with papers. She's like, "Get out of my damn house."
I can't hate too much on people who have 2 teams because there was a time when I was like, I really liked Penn State. Like, I just love the tradition. I love the colors. And then all that stuff happened with Sandusky.
I was
and
gonna say shit.
I was like, nope, I'm out. Their fans just embraced it all after it all happened. I don't know.
Penn State Tito's, baby.
I was done after that.
I didn't say the whole word because I didn't want to get dinged on YouTube, but
yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was allegedly. That was weird. A whole weird deal, but yeah. No, so okay, I'm going back to OU here.
This is an SEC show. For anyone who's an Arkansas fan and you're in here, like, why are they talking about? We talk about the SEC. So
we talk about everything.
Chill.
SEC related. Yeah.
Eagle, I agree. By the way, I knew OU was going to suck from the beginning. I did not call Texas right.
I'm
which
just
is
glad
the next
Eagles
game
here.
on this list.
Oh, I knew Texas.
But I called OU from the beginning that they were going to get walked all over. They were going to get dog walked because they were never SEC ready.
Just real quick, the only reason I had a secondary team as OU is because they were in the Big 12. Now they're in the SEC, and they suck ass, so it's really bad. Moving on.
I didn't
Let's go
see
ahead. I'm
Texas
following you,
going.
Tim.
I didn't see Texas going 9-1. Coming into this Kentucky game, I have to eat crow and say Texas is better this year than I thought they were, even though Arkansas gave them a game. I know when Travis and I talked outside of this, he was like, Texas ain't as good as I thought they were. No, Arkansas plays up for Texas in a way that they don't play up for anybody else. And they might have made Texas not look as good as they are, but Texas is legit.
They got a shitload of talent, man.
And they're going to roll Kentucky.
Wait. You think they're legit?
I do. I think Texas is
Like how legit?
I don't know if they're number 3, but they're probably top 7, honestly.
Have they played Ole Miss yet?
No. You know who they have
Ole Miss-
played?
I think Ole Miss
You know
will
who-
kick their ass.
Texas is not a top. They're not a top 5 team. They're not.
I don't think so.
I'm not buying it. Their offense is, dude. Arkansas is so bad on defense. Texas struggled moving the ball and scoring on Arkansas's defense.
But Arkansas is a bad place to judge. Look historically, Ty. We've been here for decades. Look historically. Arkansas could be trash. Arkansas could be OU this year, and still give Texas the exact same game.
We
they
thought
gave
that
them
about
last
LSU
week.
too, and LSU pushed our shit in. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
No, Arkansas
Well,
gets up for Texas, and Arkansas gets up for Texas in a way that they don't get up for anybody else, and they'll make Texas look worse than they actually are.
Did you hear Pittman talk about how he had to try to motivate his players for this game?
Because they
He had
didn't
to
know shit
pull up
about it.
old. He had to pull up old videos, dude. I can tell you right now, these kids don't give
Well,
a
Sark
shit
did
about
too.
Texas.
Sark did too. Sark had to tell his guys, look,
Yeah.
he came out and said, Arkansas hates us more than they love themselves.
Fans.
That's what he was
yes.
telling us. That's what he was telling his players.
I think Nick
Fans.
Saban is the reason that Sark is whooping ass with Texas, and Venables is
He's a
not
good
with
coach,
OU.
man.
Well, he knows how to build a SEC team. He the first year when we
100%.
played them, they didn't have an SEC caliber team then, but boy, they got one now. I think they are overhyped. I think
They're
9-1
overhyped.
is.
They're
Yeah.
way overhyped.
I
I'm
think-
sorry.
Tell me
I'm
who's
not
though.
buying.
We went through the playoff teams the other day.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, we went through the playoff teams, and we could make a case that every single one of them was overhyped.
Sure.
Every
But
single one.
What I'm saying
so
is,
then
though,
you
Tim,
can't
is
be like Texas is
yeah,
not
yeah, I can because they're number
any
3.
worse than any of
Their best win is over Vanderbilt by a field goal, Tim.
You know what's
that's
gonna
their
happen.
best win.
Y'all know what's
Like-
gonna happen though, right?
disagree.
Y'all know what's gonna happen. Texas A&M.
You disagreed with me on Vanderbilt too, and look what happened. Vanderbilt lost that game, didn't they?
Texas
I said they're not going to win another game. They're not going to win another game.
Take Texas to the woodshed. You hear me?
I don't know because, and to Tim's point, A&M. He said A&M. To
A&M's
Tim's
gonna take
point,
Texas
we
to the
don't know
woodshed.
who's actually really, really good. What I do know is what I've seen from Texas, and I've only seen them beat their best win all year. I thought it was Ann Arbor. I thought when they went into Michigan, I thought, all right, they beat the hell out of Michigan. Maybe there's something to this. And then as the
Michigan
year
sucks.
unfolds, I mean, they're at home against Georgia and they lost by 2 scores. They lost 30-15. And at the time, we didn't know what to make of Georgia. And they're 8-2 right now. It's not like Georgia's sitting on top of the world either. I don't know. It could just be that the SEC is just taking a big step back this year. I don't know.
I think that more than anything.
That could be it. But I wouldn't even put Texas as top 5. Maybe 8th or 9th. I mean, I'm fine
We
with them
should
being in
take
the
a
playoffs.
step further back so the Razorbacks could catch the fuck up. That'd be nice.
I just said top 7. You think 8th or 9th, so you don't think I'm
Yeah.
far off.
Yeah, I didn't say, but I said
fair.
they're.
I mean, you're acting like I'm way far off on what I'm saying here, but then you put them at 8th.
Ty,
And
you
I
think
said
a 4
top
and 6?
7.
I never
Kentucky
said you were
can
way
get
far
Texas?
off, though, Tim. I never said that. I just said they're overhyped as hell. At number 3, Tim, the fact that you're putting them out of the top 5 says they're overhyped.
That's fair.
So
I
you
think
agree
they're-
with
I
me
think-
just as much.
I
think
think
Oregon
they're
would whoop
overhyped, but
Texas?
not as much as it seems. I think they're legit. I think they're legitimately. They will end up in the Final Four of the playoff. I think because I can look at the playoff right now. I'm looking at the whole playoff right now, and there's not a team on there that I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna kick.
Based on
Texas'
depth,
ass.
maybe so. With
I
talent
just
and
don't
depth.
see it.
I have
What
no
if they play
idea.
Colorado?
top 12
Colorado
the
kicks
top
their
12
ass.
teams. The top
The
12
playoff-
teams.
The playoffs
I
are
mean,
the playoffs are already stupid. Like they're already getting dumb. Like with the automatic qualifier, like it could, yeah, maybe Texas gets there. I don't know, but there's not a team here that first off, like the 2019 LSU Tigers would probably wipe their rear ends with that playoff picture. Michigan last year would run, even though they were cheating their balls off. What they were as a team last year would run through this playoff picture. No one looks head over heels better than everyone else. Oregon might be the only legitimate argument because they do have 3 wins, I think, against ranked opponents.
Yeah.
They beat the dog shit out of Brett Bielema 38-9. They did. They beat Ohio State 32-31, which is a interesting ending to that game. They took care of Genty and Boise State, winning that game 37-34. Like I don't know, man. The playoffs are whatever, but I'm saying right now, I wouldn't put. There's several teams there I would not have in the top 8. I just wouldn't. But we'll see how it all unfolds. You never know. These teams could get hot, and all of a sudden the teams were doubting. They're playing out of their minds once postseason ball comes around.
All
But
right, Timmy. So
as of
it's over.
today, November 20th, there's just no way. This playoff picture sucks. I don't know that Ohio State belongs at number 2.
we're going to find out because they're going to play Indiana, who doesn't belong in the top
That's gonna
12
be.
at all.
I'm
They're
ready
fifth.
to watch that game, dude.
I
They're
know they're
fifth.
5th. I know they're 5th, and their schedule is garbage.
It's horrible.
And they don't really have anyone besides Ohio
wish I
State
was
to
a-
knock them out of it.
I wish I was an Indiana fan.
God, Travis. Jeez, dude. Go be an Oklahoma, Indiana fan, dude. God dang.
Yeah, I'm tired of sucking, man. This is bullshit.
Get into baseball. I don't know what to tell y'all. Even that's been disappointing though. Not
Timmy,
getting out-
all
not
right,
getting out
let
there
me
on
get this. 2:30 on ABC. We got Kentucky versus Texas. We know Tim's taking Texas for show.
Texas for
Loves
show.
Texas.
Like you love Brian Kelly.
Steve Sarkisian, the best coach I ever seen.
Brian Kelly not taking to the national championship.
Son of a
Hey,
bitch.
Sark's a good coach, man. I'd trade my coach for him right now.
Hey, you know what?
I'd trade Pittman for Sarkisian right now.
Oh, I would
Make
too.
no mistake.
I'm
no
going
mistake.
Texas too, buddy. Ty, where you at on this game?
I'm Texas.
He's
Texas.
Could be an interesting game, but if it were at Lexington, it could be interesting. But
I'm saving us a bunch of time because we're already an hour and 12 in. We know that South Carolina is going to beat the shit out of Wofford. We'll save a bunch of time. It's going to be good.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
You can go ahead and do the same thing with Missouri and,
You think so?
and
you
the
think so?
Missouri
worst
is
team
at-
in the SEC.
They're
minus
-8
8?
favorite. Okay, is
I did
Cook
not know
playing or
that.
what? Because I didn't think he was playing last week.
yeah, he played last week.
Yeah,
Did he not?
I thought he was out. No, I think he did, but I didn't think he was going to play. But they're
Yeah,
an
he played.
8-point favorite over 2-8 Mississippi fucking State, dude.
Well, it's their
All faith
offense.
has been lost.
Their offense is, dude. This might actually be an interesting matchup. It's just kind of dawning on me. I didn't realize this game. I thought first off that it was in Mizzou.
No, it's at Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's been playing. They're a lot better on offense.
We caught
I
him.
mean,
at
I'm
a
not
good
taking
time.
Mississippi State. This could be one of those like interesting games to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
I'm
be
gonna
one of
watch
those
this game.
interesting games that nobody cares about because Missouri covers the spread in the first 15 seconds.
Have you
I just
watched
think-
Missouri play lately?
No, they do. Their
Yeah, I
offense.
have.
Like
I know-
Missouri's
I know that-
offense
I know
is
that-
atrocious.
I know they're hurt. They're awful. I know they're awful. But there's nobody worse than Mississippi State.
Mississippi State's defense is pretty bad, dude.
Mississippi State is the
Yeah,
next. It's the new Vanderbilt.
Their offense has gotten a
The
little
only
bit
prob-
better, but
They're gonna have to
The
fight
only difference
Arkansas for
between
that
Mississippi
title.
State and Vanderbilt is the grades. Vanderbilt's here to bring the grade point average up. Mississippi State's here for everybody to trounce. That's it.
Damn.
That's it.
I mean, I would take Missouri. I
Look,
don't know if I'd take. I might take Mississippi State to cover the spread, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's an interesting
Right now,
game.
I think I'd put Bentonville High School over Mississippi State.
Yeah, but Missouri's offense is horrible. I mean, it's really bad. They're like bottom 3 in every category.
the
know.
over
Mississippi
under on
State's
this
Well,
game.
they
defense
had
is
some
really bad.
injuries and stuff.
Dude, they've been bad all year. Their offense has been bad all year.
They've been
Even when they're
good enough
healthy.
to win 7 games. versus
Missouri
Mississippi
is
State.
actually-
Yeah, again, I'm
2.
not picking Mississippi State. I'm just saying that I might take the spread.
The spread is actually down to 7.5 now.
touchdown?
Oh, you don't say.
Yep. You might be right, bro.
When they
I'm
more
gonna-
than cover the spread, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna take Mississippi
State.
State. I'm gonna take
I'm
Mississippi State
wearing
to
a
cover the
party
spread.
hat. I'm wearing a party hat and one of those little things.
You taking Mississippi State, Ty?
No, to cover the spread. I'm taking Mizzou to
Oh,
win.
okay,
the game.
okay.
I think it'll be a close game. I think Mississippi State covers.
I'm going Mizzou. Timmy, I know you're going Mizzou.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit, I'll move it, dude.
Listen. I got caught 2 weeks ago with the fanboy and the haterade. I called UMass giving Oklahoma a game, and they didn't. They did for the first quarter, but they didn't for the game. And there was some other haterade that I shared. So I'm not doing that this week. I'm calling games legitimately the way they're going to go.
That's fair.
So there is nothing for Mississippi State here because they couldn't beat Bentonville or Fayetteville High School right now.
So you're taking Louisiana Tech then?
Is that what you're saying? I don't know why you just said that. Are you?
Arkansas
he
becomes
said he's-
bowl eligible right here. It's not fanboying because Louisiana Tech lost to Appalachian State. So it's not fanboying to say that Arkansas is going to win. I'm not a homer like Travis.
I've heard Louisiana Tech is pretty damn bad this year, but who did they
They're-
beat last week?
They're bad, but like there is one thing they do really well. Well, they do a couple things pretty well.
Stop the run.
Their fourth down conversion defense is number 1 in the country. Now you could say like, oh, who cares, whatever. But how many times this year have things come down to the fourth down early for Pittman, and then he messes that up, and it changes the entire movement of the game and all the hype. And then they are pretty good against the run, which is what Arkansas is probably going to want to do, try and establish the run, or maybe not. I don't know. What is the spread, Travis?
23.
-23. Let me look at the current one because it may have changed.
Is that the
since then.
current?
I made these last night. Currently, it is 22.
22.
So somebody has a little bit of faith.
App
Must
State,
be
App
Trent
State
Dilfer.
threw a Hail Mary pass into the end zone for a touchdown against La Tech to win the game. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah.
So
4 and 6.
I-
Yeah, that's tough.
They're not good. Like they're a really bad football team. Like their
we're
offense
getting our
is bad.
6th win. We're keeping Sam Pittman. I know
There's-
that makes you guys excited. I know it does. Arkansas is
Um,
keeping Sam Pittman for another year.
Yeah.
I'm going
and
La
this
Tech
will-
for
And,
sure.
and
Ty, I'm
Arkansas
sure.
Jesus,
Oh.
Arkansas Jesus gets to walk on water for getting us to a bowl game.
6 wins, baby. Let's go.
Dude, they lost to FIU. They lost to FIU and New Mexico
they're-
State.
They're not.
Man,
Yeah,
Tech.
they're not
Holy
good. They're
shit.
bad.
We're fine.
They're bad. But they did. Hey, listen. They did go to Western Kentucky and beat a pretty good Western Kentucky team. I mean,
You know what-
seriously.
You know what's cool?
If
We
Arkansas
have
played
more-
Western,
Wait, no, we don't. What is it? Go ahead.
No, that's it.
No, there's more games, dude.
what are you talking about?
There's 3 more games we have to pick.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, there's a shit
Let
of
me-
games this week.
Well, yeah, we're coming up on rivalry week too, and that's going to be interesting.
Finish your thought. My bad.
Louisiana Tech did go on the road and beat a 7-3 Western Kentucky team who's 5-1 in conference play. So again, my thing is it's always Pittman, right? It's always like this guy cannot manage games. He's not a good game manager. He has a hard time getting his guys ready for these type of games. How many times you just talked about Missouri State, right? When Petrino came into town, all I'm saying is never say never, especially when Sam Pittman is your head coach. However, Louisiana Tech is they're not a good football team. I'm sure Western Kentucky has injuries and stuff. I don't know. I'm sure there's something going on there why Louisiana Tech was able to walk into their house and beat them 12-7. But never say never. But I am taking Pittman or the Razorbacks. I wonder if Louisiana Tech covers the spread. I would probably take the Hog or Louisiana Tech to cover the spread at 22 points. I think Arkansas wins by like 20.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Hater.
I'm just guys. I'm like, I'm legit. Like they are who they are. Pittman is who he is as a head coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
100%.
fair.
I could be wrong. They might beat the living shit out of Louisiana Tech. It might be 60-0. I don't know. But you just don't know with this guy. He is the poster child of woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, it's just what they are.
I mean, he kind of is. It makes me sad. 6:30 on ABC, Alabama versus OU. What's up?
OU's such a disappointment. They're not going to give Alabama a game.
Man, they're tough. It's tough. They're having a tough season, dude. It's
Yeah, I
not
don't have
good. It's
anything
not going to
for
be
them.
good, boys. You know, I can't believe
I
the
don't even
spread
have
is only
anything to say
14
here.
points.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised by that too when I saw that. I was surprised. When I was looking at the
Just-
games.
What is
I mean-
up with this A&M spread with Auburn? You can go ahead and put us all on Alabama. You know we're.
Yeah, we're going to Alabama.
What is this A&M spread with Auburn though? 2.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing more disappointing this season than Mississippi State is Auburn.
Did I screw that up? I'm double checking now.
Well, it may have just
2.5
updated
points?
because I think it was
A&M
like
is the number 15, and Auburn is as trash as they've been in their history.
It is
Yeah.
a 2.5 point. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I'd take
injured?
A&M to cover, but
I mean, yeah, I
I don't
would.
know.
Who's injured there? Because you're talking about A&M beating Texas. You're talking about
dude.
A&M's going to beat Texas and give Texas a game, and the spread is 2.5 against Auburn.
Who'd they lose to last week? South Carolina? A&M? Yeah, South Carolina. What the fuck happened? 2.5?
yeah, they got
Not enough to
Dude,
not
they-
enough to give me confidence in Auburn.
They're playing it
They,
hair. Nobody cares, dude.
the South Carolina game was wild too because it was like as that game was unfolding, you knew that South Carolina was going to win, but you thought maybe it'd be like a kind of close game, and they kept scoring. A&M couldn't stop them. It was wild. I mean, they scored late in the game too, if I remember right. 44-20 was
Yeah.
the final of that.
Oh, South
And they-
Carolina
and
was
they-
pouring it on
I
at
mean-
the end.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn can't throw touchdowns. All they throw is picks.
The only thing I could guess is these are two defensive football teams, and maybe I don't know. I mean, they beat Louisiana Monroe 48-14, and they did go on the road and they beat Kentucky, but like
Are they to the
they're
third
not.
string quarterback or something?
Auburn rotates their quarterbacks to keep the interceptions spread out evenly. I mean, it's that bad.
I don't
He's like,
know.
oh, you got two. Hold on, let's take you out. Let's let him get
I
two.
think Texas A&M kicks their ass. I'm sorry. I do.
They're covering 2.5.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're covering.
I think they
2.5.
beat them by like 14 points, in my
That
opinion.
makes me want to get on the betting site right now. I'm not
Yeah,
even
seriously.
kidding.
That's a
Mar-
good wager to take.
Marcel Reed threw 20 of 31 versus New Mexico State, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. Miles O'Neal threw the ball 5 of 6, and then Connor Wigman had 2 of 5, 37 yards and a pick. God, what
So they had
happened to
the-
Wigman?
Third string out there. Wow.
Wigman
Well, I don't know if that was
in
cleanup.
my submission, he doesn't play anymore.
Had to have been.
He
No.
probably
I-
threw the pick and got pulled.
Wait. Damn it. I'm sorry. I got to pull up my name schedule.
You can go to the
Oh, they
play-by-play
played New
and
Mexico.
see
It
out
was
there.
cleanup. They played New Mexico State last
Yeah, that's
week
what I
and
was
beat 'em
saying.
38-3.
That's probably cleanup.
Okay. Yeah.
But I
that
just
was.
wondered if maybe someone got hurt earlier in the game. Maybe Reed got a little banged up.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
interesting
That
that,
is-
they're playing Reed still, even though Wegman is better. They were like,
Wegman's
no, we're
better.
going to go with Reed because he actually is a dual threat, and Wegman is not.
Yeah. Reed's,
He put it on us. That's for sure. 8-2
Didn't beat us by
versus
much, though.
4-6.
Didn't beat
Nah,
Arkansas
they
by a
didn't.
whole lot. That was actually a pretty good game.
Damn, now I'm thinking that Texas might beat them. Shit. We'll have to see how that goes that week. Timmy, where you going, man? A&M or Auburn?
A&M.
A&M.
Auburn's awful.
Naturally. Yeah, Auburn's bad. I'm going A&M. Ty?
I'm keeping with A&M, but that
Yeah.
is. I wonder what's going on with
Interesting.
that.
I don't know. Did someone die? I mean,
Eagle says, unfortunately, they have been hit by the injury bug too. This
that
this
I
year.
think was
That
actually
was a while
about
ago.
Louisiana
that wasn't
Tech.
A&M.
Oh,
That was about
oh,
Louisiana
okay.
Tech.
Okay.
That was farther back.
That's interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's go to the Vanderbilt LSU 6:45 on the SEC Network. LSU is a 7.5 point favorite.
Game of the week.
Both 6 and 4.
LSU will be starting 2 freshman offensive linemen.
You know what's funny? This could low key be a good game.
It could
Oh, yeah.
be a good game.
If Vanderbilt
Except
beats
that LSU's
LSU.
defense if LSU's defense doesn't have any significant injuries, I think they plow Vanderbilt. I was on the Vanderbilt train there for 5 seconds, but I don't care if the offensive line are missing, because LSU's defense is probably going to be plenty for Vanderbilt.
I don't think so. I don't think so. You're taking Vandy. All right. I mean, you're taking LSU.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't follow Vandy enough, which I should, to know if they have any defensive injuries. But I know if this is the same team that played Bama and played Texas and shit like that, that they got a shot at this thing, dude. I'm especially you said there's 2 injured starting linemen. Is that right?
Yeah, for LSU.
I mean, yeah, that's a big fucking deal, man.
Well, but the talent level for LSU versus Vanderbilt. I mean, I feel like there's.
Hell,
Bama
I
thought the
don't
same
think it's
thing.
going to make the
Vanderbilt
same kind
and-
of difference it makes for other people.
Bama
about
Made a
talent
difference
level
for
between
Florida because
Vandy
the
and
talent
Bama?
level at Florida is bigger.
They beat Bama. Don't know how, but they beat Bama.
They didn't just
They
beat
gave
them, they beat
Texas-
their
That was an
ass.
offensive. That was an offensive shootout, wasn't it? Was it not?
Well,
it wasn't
they
that
didn't.
Vanderbilt's defense came in and dominated.
Yeah,
Bobby
but I mean,
has
they
fallen
still
off a
won.
little
I
bit,
mean,
but-
they went on a 3-game win streak. They beat Bama at home 40-35. They went on the road and beat Kentucky. Don't know what's going on with Kentucky, 20-13. They beat Ball State. They beat them by just 10 points. But then they almost beat Texas 27. They lost 27-24.
they gave him hell.
I mean, that win against Virginia Tech to start the season off was crazy. Like and even then I was like, wait a minute, is Vanderbilt and Pavia was so fun to watch in that game. He could take games over. But again, this is another one of those like, yeah, LSU should definitely win easily, but this is unlike any other year in college football. I mean, it's wild.
yeah, there's actually parity. It's awesome.
It is good. It is good for college football. I mean, we could sit here and butt heads over who we think is who, but this is actually good. The fact that we're having this conversation, guys, we're having this conversation on November 20th about who's actually the top 4 teams in the SEC. When have we been able to do that? Like,
Yeah,
really?
no,
Not
that's
for
fair.
a long time.
I mean, so this is great for college football. It's fun, but it sucks for these teams. It sucks for a team like LSU. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year they would be 6-4, and we're sitting here talking about Vanderbilt and LSU might be in a ball game, like who would have thought that? In August, September, nobody. So it is good. It is good for the game of college football. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It makes it more entertaining because it's kind of like an NFL now where you be like, oh, that team sucks. But in NFL, any given day, your team get their ass whooped by somebody. You're like, what is going on? That's why I don't bet on NFL. It's so unpredictable.
As long as they're not the Chiefs.
They finally lost last week, actually.
Yeah, I know. The refs had to do something to make it seem legit.
Yeah, right. All right, Ty. So where you at, man? You going Vandy? You going LSU?
I'm going LSU, but like, again, this is another one of those like, I wonder if they can cover the spread. 7.5. Is that what it
It's
still
actually-
is? I think.
It's up to 8 now. I just
Okay.
checked it, which is crazy because I made these graphics like last night. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, when they usually move, it's usually Wednesday, Thursday when they get their biggest move.
Yeah, that makes sense.
On-
That's why
on
we
the-
call these last minute predictions because
I think it'll be a
second.
fun game, but I don't think Vanderbilt's defense, honestly, I don't think that the talent level from front to back is strong enough that losing a couple of offensive linemen is going to make that kind of difference for Vanderbilt.
I
I
think.
like that.
Oh, go ahead, Ty.
No, I was just gonna say I like that it's a low spread, and the matchup predictor actually gives Vanderbilt 29% chance to win this game. That's actually higher than I would have thought.
40-60.
It's been the matchup predictor, which used to be called the Football Power Index, the FPI. It has been. It feels like if they're giving someone against like an LSU who has the talent and everything, if they're giving you like a 10% chance, those have been some really interesting games. And the fact that this is at 29% is actually surprising. I would have thought Vanderbilt would be at like 15%.
Yeah, the Arkansas
But
game.
Travis
Arkansas
needs a
game's
button that
93%.
is. Travis needs a button over there that is. So you're saying there's a chance?
He's got the Metal Gear Solid. He's got
I
the.
got
He does. He
Metal-
does.
Hey
Tell
man,
me
y'all
there's
know
a
what?
chance.
I did some moving around. I'm going Vandy, boys. I don't give a shit. I believe in
Wow.
it. I believe in Diego. It's going
I already
down.
fanboyed that one and lost, so I'm not doing
Yeah.
it again.
I
I'm going
want
with it,
to. I do. I want
to, but I can't bring myself.
Well,
Hold on. How do you feel about? How do you feel about the spread? I mean, that's always my thing. Like, do you think Vanderbilt can cover the 8-point spread, or will they cover the 8-point spread?
I don't think they will.
I think they win
Okay.
outright by 3. Vandy by 3.
I can wish they would, but I don't
Yeah.
think they will.
I don't think so either, and I'll tell you why. It's at LSU. It's in Death Valley.
In Death Valley.
So like that's
Yeah.
worth like 10 points right
Damn,
there.
I didn't know that before I made my pick.
Yeah, look at you. You did. It's on the screen. They're on the
Shit.
right hand side. It's going to LSU.
Initially, I know, I even lay them out like that. What a dumbass. Shit.
You're locked in. It's too late.
That's too late. They're locked in. I'm going Vandy. Fuck it. Let's go.
I hope you're right. I think Tim and I both hope you're right, but
I do. I 100% hope you're right.
I'd
Yo,
be tickled
Vandy-
if they just cover.
If Vandy wins, I'm buying a Pavia jersey. I made this bet before, and they
Bro.
did not win.
Oh no! So now your third team is going to be Oklahoma, Arkansas, and then Vanderbilt.
I don't know. That's a tough one, dude. If I pick a third team, it's going to be somebody who wins a lot. I'm going to have to get like an Ohio State jersey or some shit, which I can't
Yeah.
do. So
You
I'm
don't
just
want the
gonna go
guys that win a whole bunch in the regular season and then lose in the postseason every year.
like John Calipari,
Ohio State.
allegedly. I don't know, boys. I'm excited about the way this football season's going. Not for the Razorbacks at all, but just it's been an interesting season. It's been one where you can watch the games and be like, "Fuck yeah, dude."
Let me ask you
you
this. Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I was going to say, you came up with this idea to cover the whole SEC. And I am excited for the fact that the SEC is fun to watch and not just a 2-team race and everybody else is a wannabe. It makes it a whole lot more fun to do a show like this. So
Yeah, a lot more parity. I hate that playoff picture the way it is. And I think it is. I don't know if it'll change. I'll tell you what is going to happen. The championship games are going to go bye-bye after this year. I'm making that declaration right now. I think this is the last year we get the championship games.
Did you see Lane Kiffin actually commented on that and was like,
Yep.
people don't want to play in the championships."
Yep. That's
Like,
a
I
lot of
understand that.
coaches. And I've heard that too. I've heard that there are a lot of coaches that they're not, even all the way down to the assistants. No one wants to play a championship. So when you have that kind of consensus, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. The media sees it. They see the problem with this. It's gone. You know, who gives a shit about a bye week? I mean, you want to be healthy and you want to be ready to go. And I said that when they started the 4-game playoffs. I said, just get rid of the conference championships, please. Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
You know, I also wish they would follow the route of the NFL entirely, where if you're not in the playoffs, you don't have a postseason at all. I wish they would go that
You wanted to
route.
kill
get
bowl
rid of
games
all the
completely?
bowls.
Yeah, I do.
Damn.
I really do. Okay, tell me though, like how much fun do people have watching bowl games now, especially when you have all these
Well, they
opt-outs?
The opt-outs kill it. Yeah, the opt-outs.
Well, they
make
don't
it kinda
fill the
suck.
stadiums for most of them either.
They
I remember
don't.
when
The
Traylon Burks
the
opted
vast
out of our
majority
bowl
of them
game?
don't.
You remember that when Traylon Burks
Say
opted
what?
out of the when Traylon Burks?
Oh
opted
yeah,
out
yeah,
of the
Penn
Arkansas-
State, the Outback Bowl. Yeah,
I remember I was in Hobby Lobby shopping for a Christmas tree. And I was just like, I'm in the middle of Hobby Lobby and I'm like, what the fuck? Just losing my mind. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
and they
I
still
could
won.
not believe
But
it.
to be
Yeah.
fair, Penn State had like 9 opt-outs. Arkansas had 3. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and granted, it was Traylon Burks. That's a huge loss. That's a future first-round draft pick. But
Yeah.
it's ruined postseason football, man. I mean, it just has. Opt-outs have ruined postseason college football. And
Well, I think even if they don't, the money can't be there for all of these bowls anyway.
you would
Because, like I
think
said,
not.
If you look at some, have you seen some of the lower like the bowl that Tulane might play in? Well, no, they're actually good this year. The bowl that like Bowling Green might play in.
Was it
That
like
that stadium might
$250,000
have
payout?
like the stadium might have 10 people in it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Nisha.
They show
we try.
They show
Our-
those first 13 bowls that play don't have anybody there, but they're paying out for it.
Yeah.
So eventually somebody wants some return on their investment, and it's just not there.
All right, if you go
I wonder
to,
what the networks are paying. I wonder what that looks like.
I was gonna say, you go to a, what did they say, a 9-game SEC schedule? You do-
I'm fine with 8. I like 8. I think that's a fine spot to be in. I don't know
I
why
think if
all
you
these.
add one more SEC game and you expand the playoffs to like 16, I'd be all right with losing bowl games.
Well, I think what they would. Well, okay, yeah, you're talking about the bowl game. I was thinking just getting rid of the conference championship games.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I like bowl
like,
games. I always
The
like
BCS, God, when the BCS was a thing, yeah, bowl games were fun. And I think that's what a lot of people hang on to. It's like, oh no, but the bowl games were good, back in whatever.
That's true.
Yeah, back in the BCS era, that was the best postseason college football we ever had, in my opinion. I mean,
Agreed.
Way more memorable games. I'll never forget the Boise State Statue of Liberty play in the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. I'll never forget that. That was awesome. The USC Texas championship game.
Ohio
Arkansas's,
State.
yeah.
two
Well,
fully loaded teams that were badass that
Yeah.
Ohio State should have had players not in, but regardless, both teams were fully loaded. That was a badass game.
It was. And imagine who was that? Joe Adams that dropped that pass from Ryan Mallett from the line of scrimmage to the first play.
Man.
Go back and watch, man. That was a touchdown, and he dropped it. He would have been gone. But yeah, I mean, I think the BCS era was the best era of college football. Period. I hope that the 12-game playoff, which I think it'll eventually, I think what we're headed to is a 16-team playoff and no college football or no conference championships. I think that's where we're headed in the next 2 to 5 years. So, and that'll be good. But
I think it's slowly developing into what basketball is, where nobody gives a shit about the SEC tournament, or, you know what I mean? Like, if people lose in the SEC tournament, they're like, good, because now they can focus on the NCAA tournament.
yeah, they can
So
focus
same
on
situation.
the rest of March. Yeah, they there's so much work that still needs to be done. I don't know if they want to add more games. I think I'm fine with 12 regular season games and just getting rid of the conference championship. But like, I want to get rid of. I mean, how do you guys feel about automatic qualifiers? You got Boise State, who might get in over Tennessee.
It's crazy. Because
you've got
think automatic
you've got teams
qualifiers are
that
bullshit.
in college basketball they're understandable, but in football, I just don't think they belong.
I think top 12 should be the damn playoff. Period. No automatic qualifiers. No like if Arkansas or anyone even Tennessee makes it to the SEC championship, and you win that game, fluke win, whatever, you're in. Just a 3-loss team makes it to the SEC championship. They probably won't, but say they did. Same deal. You could jump somebody who really deserves it, and it's just I just think that was a terrible idea from the beginning.
Yeah.
What do you think, Tim?
What's up, Nisha? Hey, thank you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you like and share and subscribe.
Yeah. Timmy's quiet. He's thinking about Brian Kelly. What are you doing, Ty? Are you
Automatic
reading?
qualifiers are stupid.
Yeah.
I was. Automatic qualifiers are stupid. Take the top 12. The top 4 teams get a bye, regardless of conference, and the next 8 play into the first game. So it doesn't make any sense to do it any other way. Nobody else, no other league in America does it that way. I don't know why we would do it that way. So
Because we're stupid.
conference championships. I kind of agree with Travis, what Travis said about what if you have a 3-loss team who somehow makes it to the conference championship and wins, and then they're in. But at the same time, you also have years where you need something to define who is the conference champion. I hate the idea of point spread for the season being the determinant, or head-to-head matchups. Like we both played LSU, and I beat them by 10, and you beat them by 14. I don't like that. I would rather have the championship game and make sure that you can always determine who the champion is, and not go back through records and points and things like that to determine a championship, because you know it's going to happen at some point. Put the top two teams in the championship game, and you have a champion no matter what. Even though I don't like the idea of a 3-loss team jumping somebody, you have to give somewhere. I guess that's where I would give.
Well, Alabama ended up beating the crap out of Illinois 100-87, by the way, for anyone who was wondering.
Yeah, it's still pretty close game. Somewhat close.
Excuse me. Well, we will cut it, boys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Seriously, man, we retained everybody for an hour and 40 minutes, so we definitely appreciate everybody. If you could like and subscribe, follow Ty's show, Tuss Talk with Ty. If you want all Razorbacks all the time, that's the spot to get it. We're going to be doing this every week. So you guys got anything else?
Every week, in quotations.
Every week,
sir.
Hey, we would have done
every
last
week
week
unless
when
we
did your
jump on
show.
Tuss Talk to do a late night with Ty.
Yeah,
Tuss
we did your
Talk
show.
with the
I
boys.
was traveling and I did your show. What's up, dude? I'm the best.
Yeah, well, that was a call-in, though, wasn't it? Wasn't that the call-in?
Yeah, it was a call-in
call-in.
show, but we were on it. No, we
No,
were.
but we did a
were on it the
literal
whole time.
post game.
Son
Yeah,
of a
we did another post game, and then you also called in.
Yes, Tim called.
Well,
it,
we
yep.
should. They need to be separate. Like I think SEC Unleashed. We should always have that. Should be separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then like you guys also come on Tuss Talk.
We
No,
just didn't
that's all
figure
we're
out how it. We just didn't figure out how it was going to work that night. That's what
I
happened.
had a
if
way
you
to
remember.
work
No, I know
it
that.
out.
Like
yeah.
all of a sudden we were like, crap, how do we make this work to run 2 shows back to back? So-
Right.
Yeah.
but we'll get it. We'll have
We'll
them
figure
both
it out.
separate.
Ty, you got a lot of shit going on. Me and
Otherwise,
Tim are just
it's
losers.
fun to be on your show. So
No, I like it. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, doing an hour and a half or hour and 15 show solo after a game or even just like during the week is so freaking brutal. Like, it's nice to have you guys there who can give your input and, and you can interact with Chad a little bit if I'm off doing something. Like, it is so nice to have a little bit of help. I might also need you guys to cover for me in March on Tuss
We'll do
Talk
it.
because I'm gonna
do
be
it.
on a cruise. So
Oh, that'll be fun as shit. Except we can't say
Yeah.
the
Why don't
F-bomb.
you-
I can't say no.
why don't you take your stuff on the cruise?
Because there's no internet.
yeah, and the
Yeah, there
internet's
is.
real. Yeah, we've paid for the internet. And it's terrible.
Dude, we'll do it for sure.
It's bad.
Everybody, please like, subscribe. We are trying to grow the channel. Seriously. The more you like it, the more we'll do it. That is all I got. See y'all.
See ya.